Uh, so can you tell me how many of my typing sessions you've watched before?
Oh, quite a lot, I think. Maybe not like the recent ones, but quite a lot of like the old ones before you went on the hiatus.
Okay, cool. And when did you first learn about personality type? When did you first encounter personality type? How long ago?
I don't remember, but maybe like a few years ago. Uh, Definitely like the 16 personalities thing, like the test, and then I just kind of went like in and out of it. Maybe like did a little bit of like read it, and kind of just went back into it. Uh, and then recently I went a little bit on like Discord, um, and then like on YouTube I watched like some of it as well, and then like maybe read it somewhere, like maybe just like Googled it, like Google searched it, and just like read it about it.
Okay. And do you think for you that learning about it is more useful in understanding other people, more useful in understanding yourself, or just interesting?
Um, Interesting, I'd say. I would kind of, I would maybe sometimes share it with others, as in because I want to like find out what like type they are, but I probably usually won't get it right. It's mainly about, I think I find it interesting and I want to learn more about it. So maybe more about myself. And it's just like it just becomes enjoyable, I'd say. Uh, yeah.
Okay. Um, so can you tell me about your childhood a little bit?
Yeah, sure. So I kind of was born like here in the UK, but then when my mom and dad split, so I kind of grew up in Malaysia with my grandparents. Uh, and yeah, like I was like a apparently like I used to kind of do the splits when I was young. Um, and yeah, and then I came back to UK, uh, and then went back again, and I came back and I'm like here since then. Uh,
Do they have a lot of
yeah,
casinos in Malaysia?
casinos. Yeah, so like my granddad used to he loved like gambling.
Right. I I I think of Malaysia as being the
It's like
place,
rubber plantations as well.
the Asian Las Vegas. I think of Malaysia as being the Asian Las
It's
Vegas.
yeah, it's like really corrupted sometimes. Yeah.
Okay, so can you relate a specific experience from your elementary school years that stood out to you either because you learned something that day or because um it's or for some other reason,
In my school years, I learned something.
like a specific experience from your elementary school years that you remember today and that still informs you today. I give you an example. Like when I was 14, this is in my elementary school years. When I was around 14, my dad one time really yelled at me for leaving a cereal bowl in the sink without rinsing it out first, because a cereal gets kind of cemented to the side of the bowl. And that I to this day I still always rinse out cereal bowls after he fucking laid into me that one time. That's an example.
Um, I think I used to kind of like cry a lot because I couldn't do maths, like really simple maths, and my aunt used to kind of like shout at me a lot. When I was doing maths.
She'd do what to you a lot?
Maths, so
No,
like 1 plus 1 or whatever.
no, but you
Um,
said she'd meow a lot when I did math.
I think she kind of what did she do? She I think she shouted.
Oh, shouted. Okay.
Actually, no, maybe she didn't. She made me like, but made me feel uncomfortable, and I just cried a lot.
Okay. All right. And did you end up learning math better because of that, or
No,
not at all because of that?
no, it just gave me an impression of her. I didn't like her.
You didn't
But
like her.
now,
Okay.
but now I like her. Um,
Okay. So,
so what did I learn? Uh, yeah, what did I learn?
well, let me frame the question a little differently. So, when you encountered that you were struggling with math, such you determined
I
this because you were performing at less than the expectations of this other person, right?
another thing that I remember is like I used to like climb up. There was like in a room there were kind of like metal thing that I climb up, and then like I was trying to get the bicycle at the top. So like I fell down and I even got a scar now. So maybe from that I learned not to climb up that thing now.
Did you get the bicycle down successfully?
I don't remember. Uh, I don't think so. Yeah,
Okay,
I don't think so.
that's
No.
fine. All right, so here. Let me give you a little sort of analysis as we move along. The first thing you told me was a very NI kind of response to that. The second thing you told me was an SI kind of response to that. An NI response is when I'm asking you to give me a specific event from your childhood and then exemplifying what a specific event looks like. And then you say, well, when I was a child, I used to cry a lot when I did math with my aunt or whatever. That's not a specific event. That's something that presumably happened multiple times over several occasions. The second thing is a specific event, though. So, okay. So what I'm thinking based on that is you're probably NI conscious, not SI conscious, but it's just a probably at this point. Um,
I'd say like I know like tests like aren't kind of accurate, but on like tests I always get like dominant SI.
you get dominant SI.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, like I said, that was just an inclination. Let's see what. Let me test it some more. So, you remember the last time you went on a vacation, holiday as you call it in Britain?
Yeah. Like the Easter holidays, I went like a week with my mum and two of my cousins to Dorset. Yeah, and like the beaches, and we went along like beaches.
Okay. Can you tell me your favorite moment from that trip and your least favorite moment from that trip?
My most favorite was just kind of like chilling and not be doing much in the house. What I didn't like was when I think there was an incident at the beach where something happened, and I was kind of annoyed with my mum just for a little bit. Um, because we were arguing about something like I want to go there, I didn't go there, whatever. Like, yeah.
Okay. Again, the first one is NI. The second one is NI turning into SI. Okay, because the first one, you just like chilling. That is not a moment. Okay, that is something you did occasionally throughout the trip, right? So
Yeah.
when I talk about my favorite moment from my trip to Hawaii with Rachel and my dad, it's a moment when the three of us were sitting at a McDonald's as we were driving back from the volcano. The sun was setting. It was a super old school McDonald's. We got a hot cup of coffee. It was gorgeous outside and just like um, old school, wholesome community kind of inside. And it was a wonderful moment. That's a moment, right? The second thing you're talking about is a specific incident that happened that caused a fight between you and your mom. That's a moment.
Okay, let me think of like a moment for the good one then. Uh, I guess just like kind of sitting on the beach.
Okay, that's okay. Never mind. This is illustrated because, of course, this is exactly the sort of response that I got from Rachel on these kind of questions. Who's NI, not SI, which was, "What's your favorite moment from Hawaii?" She said, "Oh, just the changing weather. Nothing could be less of a moment than changing weather." The fact that the weather wasn't all the same time all the time. Anyway, okay. So can you tell me about how you physically feel right now? Any aches, pains? Do you feel tired? Do you feel hungry, thirsty?
I actually just kind of like woke up from a nap like maybe like an hour ago or something. So I'm quite refreshed. And I sort of like snacked a little bit at my cousin's house. So feeling good, not hungry, no aches and pains, not tired. No, maybe like slightly like here, like slight pain here, maybe.
Okay. How many hours of sleep do you think you need tonight?
I'd say 7.
Do you get that, you think, most nights?
Yeah, I think so. Yes, 7. Unless if I'm on like TikTok for really long, then I might get like slightly less, maybe something like 5 or like 6, whatever.
Okay. When you wake up in the morning, when you get up, do you check to see if you've gotten enough sleep?
Mm, yes, I'd say I'd be aware of it. Yeah,
Okay. And what would that awareness look like? How would you derive that awareness?
I might already be aware kind of last night, kind of because I would be like, if I had, especially if I had like work the next day, then I would be like, oh no, I needed to sleep by like 12 or whatever, or like 1. But I slept at blah blah blah. So like, oh shit, I only got like 2 hours of sleep. If that happens, then I'll be aware. Um, yeah, sometimes if I'm like too engrossed into like a drama or something, and I kept on like watching episodes, um, then yeah.
Okay, so you
And
wouldn't check how you felt physically to determine if you'd gotten enough sleep?
yeah, I would check for. I mean, if I wake up and then probably be like my head would like really hurt, but I'll probably already know like beforehand if it kind of everything hurt or whatever. Like I would probably already know that. Yeah, like it reminds me of like that trip to like Germany where like my aunt kind of I had like my passport was like with her, and then someone kind of stole her like bag, so that meant like me and her passport were like both lost, and then that meant like we had to like stay in like Germany for a really long time, and like get like, flights and everything, and then we had to like sleep in the airport. So that time I knew that I couldn't sleep really well, uh, yeah, because of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
So yeah, so that time like I think like we were on the train like to the embassy or something, and then I was just like sleeping and like snoring on the train. Apparently to my auntie, I was sleeping like that on the train, and everyone else was, I guess, like laughing or that's according to my auntie. Yeah.
okay. Can you tell me, like, let's say you didn't get enough sleep, how does that impact you during the day after you've gotten up? Like, let's say you only got 3 hours of sleep. Yeah, you have to go to work. You get up, you go to work. How does that impact you during the course of your workday?
Uh, yeah, I might feel a bit kind of really tired. I just want to go back home. Yeah, I'll probably be really, uh, yeah, maybe it's like slightly more moody than usual. Uh, really tired. Um, just want to sleep.
Have
It's
you
probably
ever gone a really long time without sleeping at all? Like, stayed up for 2 full nights or something?
no, definitely not. No.
Okay. Um, then can you tell me about your eating habits? Do you eat at regular meal times? Do you wait until you feel hungry and then eat? Do you have a tendency to not eat enough and realize all of a sudden, oh my God, I'm starving? Or do you have a tendency to munch on things for no reason, even when you're not hungry?
Yeah, so I guess like when I was young, I I don't remember. I didn't really have that concept. I think I didn't really eat much when I was young. Like I just ate when people gave me food. But like nowadays, it's kind of like sometimes I might be like on diets, then I'll be really conscious and just drink like coffee for like breakfast, and then like just be really hungry until like 12 or 1, then out 12 or 1, and then come home and eat. Or like nowadays, I'm not really in that phase now where I'm kind of controlling. I'm not trying to control anything. I probably should, but
Are you familiar? Are you familiar with the word hangry?
hangry.
Do you get
Yeah,
hangry? Do
I
you get
think
mad and fussy when you get hungry?
I think I do. Yeah, with like people that I'm familiar with. I think I do. Yeah,
And what makes you think you do? Is it because they've told you that, or because you've observed it in yourself?
observed it in myself.
Okay. Uh, what's the best number of steps to break down the task of cleaning your shoes after you stepped in mud into? What's the best number of steps to break it into?
I mean, it depends if I still want the shoe or not. Depends if the mud is
Yeah,
even
you're
cleanable.
cleaning it because you're trying to salvage it. You stepped in mud and you have nice new white sneakers, okay? You step in mud, you got mud on the side of your sneakers. Now I want you to break down the task of cleaning your sneakers into the ideal number of steps.
Guessing maybe like 4.
Okay, and what would they be?
Take the shoe, turn on the water, wash the shoe, dry the shoe.
Okay. You're not even gonna put any soap on it, huh?
Mm, and maybe put soap on it and just uh yeah, wet the shoe, put soap on it, rub it, rinse it, done. Okay, maybe 5, then leave it to like dry. 5.
Okay. Interesting. And can you tell me, I want you to come up with a plan to solve the problem of plastics in the ocean.
Um, kind of put like if I was like government, then kind of put like regulation to not use plastic. Plastic become like illegal. What else? Like make like a solution that would just put like a safe solution for like turtles and coral reefs, and then just like put it into the ocean to like destroy plastic. Or uh, mm, yeah, I think probably the regulation one would be better. Or just kind of like give like incentives to like firm to not use like plastics. Maybe but like a lot of like advertisements to like the the public saying plastic is like really really bad for
Okay,
for
well, but what if I am asking you to solve the problem of plastics that are already in the ocean?
yeah, then maybe like give like bursaries to like scientists to kind of make a solution that you can just put into the ocean to kind of destroy the plastic without kind of harming like the animals in like the ocean. uh or you could
Okay, what if I asked you personally to make as big an impact solving the problem of plastics in the oceans today, in 1 day total? It's just you personally.
just me, just I can do it, then I
Yeah.
would go out and pick the plastic of the ocean myself. Oh, you mean
All right.
solve the whole
Okay,
world?
good. Okay, cool, good. Um, all right, now I'm gonna ask you some TI questions. If some turtles are named Steve and some things that are named Steve, like bacon, is it necessarily the case that some turtles like bacon?
Some turtles like bacon, and Steve likes Steve
No,
is
If some turtles are named Steve, and some things that are named Steve like bacon, is it necessarily the case that some turtles like bacon?
Yes. I'm just
No.
guessing. No.
No. Okay, how about this? If all oranges taste sweet and this fruit tastes sweet, is it necessarily an orange?
Taste sweet.
If all oranges taste sweet and this fruit tastes sweet, is it necessarily an orange?
Yeah. No. No.
No. Can you tell me why?
Because there could be some. There can be some fruits that taste sweet that aren't orange.
Exactly. Good. Okay. Now let's try a couple genealogy questions. Can you tell me who my father's wife's only daughter's father is in relation to me?
Father's
Father's
wife.
wife's only daughter's wife. I'm sorry. Father's wife's only daughter's father.
My father's wife is my mom. My mom's only daughter is me. Then me.
And her father is.
Her father is my father.
All right. Okay. All right, good. So I will do here what I did earlier, which is give you a little mid typing analysis. So as far as TI questions go, your TI could be 3, 4, 5, 6, or 8. It's not 1, 2, or 7.
Mhm.
That's what I concluded from those TI tests right there. And just to get a little extra confirmation, let me ask you one of these kind of questions. If there are 3 snail wobbles in a cornucopia and 4 cornucopias in a trumpet blast, how many snail wobbles are there in a trumpet blast?
I know the answer to this because I kind of watch your videos and I asked this question to like one of my cousins and he said just times it. So I know now just to times it. So it should be 12.
Yeah,
But
it
it's
is
not because
12.
it's not because like I know, it's because he teach me to do
Okay, all
that.
right, cool. Yeah, that it's that is the good quick TE heuristic on the thing. But thank you for informing me as well that that's how you did it. That's interesting. Okay. Can you tell me about your relationship with procrastination?
Uh I am probably quite bad at it. Yeah.
I mean, you procrastinate a lot.
Yeah.
What kinds of things are you most likely to procrastinate on?
Like work, homework, uh, stuff I don't want to do. Sometimes stuff I want to do as well, but rather than procrastinate, it's more kind of I did something else that I've kind of forgot about it, and then I did something else, and then I went like I would go back to it, or I just kind of lose interest in it and not don't watch it anymore. Uh,
Okay, so when you're putting off doing some, say, homework or something, are you more likely to procrastinate by doing some other chore that's not what you're supposed to be doing, or are you more likely to procrastinate by just watching TV or doing nothing productive?
yeah, I'm just doing nothing like playing video games, something I want to do.
Okay. Do you like to play video games? What do you prefer, like first person shooter games or like resource distribution games or like Minecraft or what?
I like Roblox. Used to like Minecraft, but I don't. I probably want to like someday kind of buy a computer where I can actually play loads of different games. I haven't probably replayed like enough different games for, but
What's Roblox?
Roblox
What's that game like?
is like uh it's actually probably my cousins have introduced it to me. Like you actually play like loads of different games on it, so it's not just like one game, but loads of different. They can be like shooting games, they can be like murder mystery games. There's like loads of different games in it. But recently I've been playing a lot of like Genshin Impact, which is like I play on my mobile. Or there's like usually it's because I also used like to play the farming game where there's like crops and like you kind of do like the crops to it. Like you kind of like what's it called? You collect crops. Heyday, yeah, it's called Heyday. My mom still like plays that game, but I don't anymore.
So, are you like married to your phone? Do you always have your phone in your hand?
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah.
And how old are you? I have a theory about
Um,
a certain age line in which people will go from being married to their phones to hating their phones.
yeah. I'm 28. I'm like 29 in September.
Yeah. Yeah, you're part of the phone generation that just you guys can't get your phones out of your hand. I can't stand my phone because I can't see it because it's too small, and my fingers just feel like clumsy meat hammers when I try to push buttons on it.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
similar like to my mom. Like she hates it. That's why she got like a bigger phone as well. So she can
But
actually
in contrast, my 24-year-old daughter can shoot off a bit paragraph text in like 5 seconds with two thumbs. It's crazy.
oh yeah, I do that as well. Yeah.
Okay, so I like how you call it mobile as well. That's the English thing. In America, we call them cell. Like I say, when I play it on my cell. Anyway, regardless, all right, let's try some questions for extroverted intuition. Can you tell me, you've been tasked with the job of coming up with reasons why Britain should invade and conquer Morocco.
Um, the meatballs aren't good for you. Morocco, like people kind of come here a lot and then they steal their jobs. Or kind of we don't like the name Morocco. Uh, they sell like silk stuff that are like too expensive here. They're competing with our resources in UK maybe, or like the people come here and like steal jobs maybe. The government isn't friendly with us, or the pollution, like too many like pollution, producing too many pollution. Maybe
Okay, cool. That's
still
quite a
yeah.
bit. That's good. That's good. That's a lot of that's a lot of different things. That's good.
Um,
Um, okay. I'm gonna turn down my mic a little bit because it says I'm causing some audio here. Okay. I mean, I've probably seen some feedback. So what I want to do now, because I segued directly from live streaming to this thing, I didn't have a cigarette before I started this. So I'd like to take a cigarette break and we'll go over at the end an extra 5 minutes or whatever, but I need to smoke a cigarette. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, thank you for your patience. My next question is a two-parter. Do you feel like you were more informed by your experience or your instincts? And part two, could you give me an example of being informed by one or the other of them?
My experience or my instincts. In what? Like in doing what?
I'm saying, can you come think of an example of a time when you were informed by what was happening right then by either your experience or your instincts?
Mm, Probably instincts, I'd say.
Okay, can you give me an example?
Uh, when I was when me, my grandma, someone went to like a trip. I don't remember where it was exactly, maybe in Italy or something. And the tour guide was just talking about stuff, and the floors were like really slippery. And I was being silly, and I kind of walked a bit fast. Luckily, everyone kind of went, so they didn't see me. It's just my mum and my grandma saw me like slipped, and I guess like by instinct, I quickly like rolled or something. Like it's not because I've done it before. Maybe it's because I've seen it in movies, but I don't think it is. I think it's just like improvising, so I wouldn't be hurt as much.
Okay, cool. That is an excellent example of using your uh, instinct to inform your action in the present moment. And
But then that's the only kind of example I can think of actually.
okay, well, but that example you just provided is also a good example of you using your experience to inform me about using your instincts. Um, all right. So, can you come up with an example of you using your experience rather than the one I just said? And that was
Uh,
to inform me, not yourself.
uh, what is an example of an experience? I guess kind of maybe yeah, actually more experience. Like if I ordered something, if I had kind of KFC spicy wings and it didn't settle in well with me, actually I probably would have it again next time, but I would still regret it later. Actually, no, that's not the experience.
No, that qualifies for sure. Like I ordered spicy wings from restaurant A, they sucked, so I didn't order them again. When it came time to order spicy wings, I remembered I didn't like it last time from that place, so I got it from a different place. That's a perfect example of being informed by experience.
No, I still got it. I still got. It's like
I
I don't
still
learn.
got
It's
it.
more kind of like I don't learn from the experience. I still got it, but it didn't settle in well with me again. And then I complained to my mom, "Oh, I shouldn't eat KFC hot wings again." Um, but I probably will still do it again. um, Let me
Okay.
think. Oh, I guess like from experience, that's one I can think of. Like is like kind of like job wise. I I didn't actually. Yeah, it's not really experience because I still have thoughts of going back to it. Um, Let me think. Uh,
I'm gonna give you an example, maybe of me being informed by my experience and incorrectly informed by it. Like when I broke up with Kimberly, she had certain habits of saying certain things that would piss me off. So she would say like, um, I can't remember the exact example, but she faced a certain sentence, and then Rachel said it when I got with Rachel. She didn't mean it. It didn't mean the same thing when she said it as it meant when Kimberly said it. Kimberly was toxic and was being a cunt, you know. But when Rachel said it, it didn't mean that. But I would be very reactive to when Rachel said it, because I was being falsely informed by my experience that those words correlated with this thing when they didn't with Rachel.
Yeah, I think I do that maybe sometimes with my mom, or like she might have do something similar like that, where sometimes I'm kind of in the car and then I'm just like humming a song. I don't even know that I'm humming a song, and then I've noticed like recently she then starts to do it as well, as a way to like irk me, I guess. But I don't know if she is doing it to irk me. I don't know if that's an experience.
It does irk you when she sings this along with you?
No, she's not singing along. I just have a feeling that she's not singing along with me. She is trying to kind of, because she does this a lot. I guess it's like experiencing. She does this a lot where kind of she, like similarly to Kimberly, I guess, like where if I always forget to, I don't know, put back things where they are, then she'll start kind of doing it in the way back to me, but not in the way, doing it back to a way in me that hurts me. Like,
Oh,
for
I see.
example,
She's
yeah.
trying to give you a taste of your own medicine.
Yeah, but she doesn't just tell me. She just likes to do it in a way that's not like direct. She doesn't mean harm or anything. She might laugh about it, but then she's kind of semi-serious as well. And I guess
Okay.
it's the kind of experience.
Gotcha.
Like,
Gotcha. Okay. Well, that's an interesting answer to that question. And revelatory again of NI conscious, SI unconscious. Like you're a little bit you're a little less clear cut to me than most people, which might suggest potentially it's in 4 or 5. Your knowledge functions are in 4 or 5, but I don't think so. I think you're more unconscious than that. So, all right. Would you consider yourself more committed to being a team player or more committed to um, getting what you want?
I guess that depends on the context again.
What do you want?
Depends on the context and what I want, I guess.
In general in life, what do you want?
I want to kind of like just be able to get what I want in the moment. Like just kind of, I see that and then I want it, and then be able to get that, or like being able to like go on holidays, being able, like my mum not kind of passion, like kind of giving me that kind of that feeling where she is kind of like doing something, but she says that she's not, that sort of thing. Not feeling like watched all the time. I sometimes want to move out as well, but then kind of like have my dog at home, and she's kind of close with my mum as well. So it's kind of like I just want everything to be good and settled. And what else do I want? I want to be able to kind of move to a different country, maybe work in a different country. I want to be able to like speak different languages. I
Do you
want
speak Malaysian?
no. I can speak like Cantonese a little bit. I can't like read or write them, so I want to like be able to like read and write them as well. Maybe I want to not be in a job that maybe like do something that I'm actually interested in. I'm probably not right now.
Okay.
Want to be,
Are you taking any? Are you taking across time a series of concrete steps towards moving towards any of those what might broadly be deemed goals?
no,
Okay,
I don't think so.
that's fine. No judgment from me at all. I'm that way too. You know. Okay, can you talk to me about what kind of media you consume when you're consuming media that's not teaching you anything? Like I'm excluding from media that you consume here stuff that like, oh, I need to learn how to do this. So let me look up a YouTube video on how to, yeah. Don't include anything like that.
Yeah, I do a lot of that. And maybe sometimes just clicking on whatever looks good. Maybe like cat videos. I used to like kind of watch cat videos for like hours on end. I don't know why I could do that. Or sometimes I might just like watch like your videos, like the 2 hours was one I just watched the whole day. Sometimes.
You mean the live stream?
Oh yeah, live stream, or even like you have like loads of kind of like the typing sessions. It's maybe.
Oh right, yeah.
Or like yeah. Or like the I used to watch like kind of YouTubers a lot. There's not much good ones nowadays. I used to like PewDiePie a lot. I do like hair braiding videos count.
Hair braiding? Yeah.
Yeah, how to like braid your hair. Is
Okay.
that
Do you watch videos on things like what fashion goes with your skin tone? Things like that.
yeah. Like I also want to find out like what color I am, like what kind of like season I am. I want to like find out that as well.
Oh
I
my
don't think that's
God.
like a
Rachel is
service.
so into that right now. Rachel is so into that right now.
Yeah.
That's the thing that she's totally into is she found some app that tells you you're a certain season and it has certain colors that go with it. I just think the whole thing's ridiculous, frankly. I think you don't necessarily look bad or good in a given color. It depends also on like what the cut of the blouse or whatever it is, and the other clothes that you have on. It's not a whole palette of colors that you can't wear because of your skin tone. It's ridiculous. Do you think it's true?
Uh, Not really. No, I don't think that's true. I like I'm into kind of like color analysis. I think it's just yeah.
Okay.
I guess like the fitting kind of like and like obviously like the body shape as well. But then like I think color kind of is important as well. Like
Can I
yeah,
see what you're wearing?
I'm just wearing like gray top and like a
Okay.
and
So
like a
so
like a
understated
white
has no particular decorations or anything on it.
no.
Is that would you say that's your style?
Uh, Not really. I wouldn't say so. I think like I haven't been like confident to like wear what I used to wear. But actually, yeah,
What did you used to wear? What did you used to wear?
I used to wear kind of more form-fitting clothes, maybe.
Oh, you're talking
When I
about
was
that. Okay.
fit.
But forget about that whole angle of things. I'm saying, is your fashion sense more like clean cosmopolitan? Is it more I'm here to make a statement with loud colors? Is it more like that? Tell me about your fashion like that.
Uh, I think I'm more just wear comfy clothes, like
Okay.
comfy. Like I used to kind of want to kind of you know like experiment maybe like like a bun on my head and like maybe like different color of clothes, maybe like some jewelry as well. I used to like wear a lot of jewelry, but
Do you
nowadays like
wear
I just
makeup a lot?
mm, no, I've never worn much makeup. I used to just wear just like eyeliner, eyeshadow. I used to, but nowadays it's all about like comfort to me. I just want to
Okay,
feel
so
comfortable.
when you go out to dinner or something, you aren't particularly concerned about looking sharp.
No.
Okay. Um,
Even if there's like a dress code, like even if at work, if there's a dress code, I still want to wear something that's as comfortable as possible. But sometimes I might just wear jeans that are just comfortable to me that don't look like jeans, just to kind of like I'm still following the rules sort of. Sometimes people might give me that look, but
do
I
you buy jewelry like little necklaces and rings and shit like that?
I used to when I was like a teenager. I don't
Okay.
really anymore. I used to wear like earrings all the time as well. I don't anymore
You
because
don't
it's not
wear earrings,
comfortable.
huh?
I used to.
Okay. And is
I
is this your
probably
standard haircut? Like, do you just have the same hair every day, or do you do things like curl it some days? And
I think I want to, like even with the jewelry, I have this idea that I want to kind of wear maybe like a little one. I just haven't actioned on it yet. Like even hair, I want to maybe like grow my hair out long and kind of maybe perm it. Um, but I haven't done it yet. I just it's just like cheaper to just let my mum. I just let my mum cut my hair for these past few years. I just let my mum like cut it straight. It's like something
okay,
I
let
want
me
to
ask
do.
you this question. Let me ask you this question. Let's say you had a short necklace that had a little pendant that sat right here below your neck scoop. What would you want that pendant to be of?
I want it to maybe like a little circle, maybe with like a picture inside of like my dog and my mom inside, maybe with like a maybe like a little like word at like the outside. I haven't thought of like what I want to write on the outside yet, but
And what's your thinking about carrying around with you a picture of your dog and your mom? Is it something you're actually going to want to look at, or is it just the idea that you're representing their value to you?
yeah, I wouldn't really look at it. I just want to, yeah, the second one that you said.
Okay. All right. Can you talk to me about your music listening habits? Do you listen to a little music, a lot of music, no music? And how do you find what you listen to or decide what you listen to?
Sometimes I just go like I have a Google Nest thing, so I just say hey, and then I say that word. I don't want to say it now to trigger it, but I just like say it and then be like play Spotify, and then you just play a random song. That's how I do music.
Okay. Do you have a repertoire of songs that you already know that you like a lot, and you just sort of go through that catalog of songs, or how much energy do you put towards finding new stuff you've not heard before?
Yeah. So I kind of sometimes I listen to a song I like it, and I might favorite it, add it to my playlist, but I never actually go back to my playlist and listen to it. I like to kind of look. I like to like listen to other people's playlists. Maybe try like a. Sometimes I go to like pop. Sometimes go to rock. Sometimes go to metal. Like you can always kind of find different stuff. And sometimes you listen to other people's music, and then you find that some of their music taste is like good as well, and then you save their music down. But I find I don't really listen to my playlist a lot, so I don't know why I favorite it. I still want to favorite it though, because in case I want to hear that song
Okay,
again.
so let me ask you this. Talk to me about your relationship with song growing on you. Is that something you have a lot of experience happening, or do you know right away whether it's good or bad and then say it that way?
Don't think it really. I just like when I hear a song the first time, I already know it's good, or I already know it's bad. It doesn't really grow on me.
Okay, so you don't need to use your experience to inform you about whether the song is good or bad.
How would I use my experience to inform me?
Well, for somebody who uses their experience to inform them about whether a song is good or bad, they need to listen to it multiple times
mm,
and determine whether the experience of hearing it is enjoyable. Right? They're not, in other words, they're not judging it on its objective aesthetic quality. NI favoring epistemologies judge things on their objective quality aesthetically. SI favoring epistemologies don't believe there is an objective aesthetic quality, that it's beauty in the eye of the beholder. And if you play them a terrible song often enough, they'll fall in love with it.
yeah, actually, but now that you say that, like I used to really hate K-pop a lot, but then like my little cousin, like she dances to K-pop a lot, and then now it's kind of stuck to me. Like I'm into K-pop now because of her. I
Okay.
guess
But
that's
that maybe she just introduced you to a few good examples of it and you realize, you know what, some of this is actually pretty good. It could be that.
she didn't really introduce it to me. She just like dances it to the like song, and then I just like get to like hear the song a lot all the time because she's always dancing to it. And then sometimes
Mhm.
like I just like remember the tune, so sort of like it now. I have a few like K-pop songs like saved in. I used to like
Okay.
hate it and be like, no, I'm not listening to any K-pop. But yeah.
What happens if something breaks around your house, like something not that complicated to fix, such as your doorknob is sticky and it won't, like you have to like turn it two or three times to get the door open, or something like um, the the towel circle that your hand towel hangs on in the bathroom has come loose from the wall. Do you fix it yourself? Ask somebody else to fix it? Ask somebody else how to fix it? Try to delegate it to say it's not my problem at all, or what?
Usually I just shout for my mom all the time. Even like when I can't find something, I would always shout for her. And then she'd be like, it's just there like that.
Mom, where's mom now?
Yeah, like where? Yeah. Um,
Okay.
Even when I can't like close something or I can't like open something, I just call for her.
Do you have any creative outlets? Like sometimes you write poems, draw pictures, write songs, sing songs, what?
Sometimes I just like hum to like music, but I wouldn't say I'm quite creative. I used to like doodle a lot, just like doodling in papers. Like I used to like write like diaries when I was like younger, but there was a point in my life when I just like ripped it all up. I don't know why, and I just threw it away. Maybe I found it was like embarrassing or something. But
Okay.
yeah, I used to do that. But I actually took like art for like GCSEs. GCSE is, I think it's like secondary school for America. I'm not sure. Secondary as in I think high school.
Uh-huh.
But for GCSE I used to take art. Like looking at back at it now, I don't know why I took art. I was I don't think I'm even good at drawing. I don't know why I took art. Um, but yeah, I
Do you have good taste in art?
I appreciate art, I'd say, but I probably can't stand in front of art and just look at it. Actually, can I? Maybe I can if it's good enough. It's like big enough. Uh, I don't understand how people
What's
say
your
it's,
favorite medium? Is it video, TV, like YouTube videos, TV shows, movies, music, visual arts like paintings, sculpture, drama like a theater, radio? What's your favorite medium to consume?
I like watching kind of videos, I'd say. Definitely videos. I watch a lot of different videos, like maybe like horror movies a lot. And
Okay.
like even the romantic as well, like the K dramas, which are kind of romancy. I like that.
Yeah, I watched a few of those. I watched one that was so depressing. It was about these like angels who get justice for people who
Oh,
like I don't know, like this. There was one episode where the dog left the owner because he didn't want the owner to be sad when the dog died, and maybe you saw it. I don't know.
oh yeah, yeah. I don't like movies that have like dogs in it. So usually I would go to that website called "Does the Dog Die?" and then check if there's like dogs before I watch it.
That was just one episode of it. Did you watch that one with Vincenzo, the guy, the Korean guy who was a
Oh
consigliere of the Italian mafia?
no, I didn't watch that one. I don't
That
think.
was so good. That was really good.
Mm.
Okay, anyway, you're a little bit tricky to type here. I think I would like to ask Rachel to come down and chat with you a little bit, um, and get her thoughts as well. If you're not in a huge hurry.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
All right, let me go grab Rachel. Hey, Rachel, could you come help me type this lady? Okay, it's not a, she's in the middle of something. She's not a good temper. Let me go smoke another cigarette and think about this, and then I'm gonna come back, ask you a couple more questions, and tell you what I think. Grapefruit juice. You are not as clear cut as a lot as most people. Okay. Can you tell me an example of something that makes you mad at yourself? And if you need an example of that, I can give you an example of something that makes me mad at myself.
Mm-hmm.
You want the example?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
So I'm mad at myself, for example, about we had this glass table that came with the house, and it was on the patio out there. It was glass, and the top part of it was glass. You know, the stand wasn't. But anyway, when it started to snow a lot, I didn't do anything, and the snow piled up so much that it broke the glass on the table. So we had to throw that table away. I'm mad at myself for not anticipating that this, 6 feet of snow on top of a glass table is obviously going to break it.
Mm. I'm mad at myself, probably usually of kind of maybe not trying my best or like making the wrong decision, I'd say.
Can you give me an example?
Um, like maybe I wouldn't really say I was mad at myself. It's more kind of like, for example, am I mad at myself in that? I don't know if I'm mad at myself. Maybe I'm not really mad at myself, but like I used to work in like a big four firm and I quit kind of halfway through the program. And like so that's now like that's why now I'm like I guess like my career isn't looking that good. But actually looking back at it, I'm not really mad at myself. I think that was a really good decision that I made, even though it's not really good for my career.
Okay.
So no,
Do you
that's
think
not really mad at myself.
do you think your feelings inform you more about what you want or about when your boundaries are crossed?
Actually, I thought one. It's like I'm sometimes mad at myself when like I don't treat like I when I'm with my mum, like when my mum's here, I would be like I just be myself and be like, I'm not as good to her. And then I'll maybe if she goes back to like on holiday or something, and then she's not here, and then I'll be mad at myself, like, why am I treating my mom like this, like that? I'll be mad at myself for that. Yeah.
Okay. So if we're
So
not
what was the question?
treating something precious to you as though it were precious to you. All right, cool. So I
Yeah.
believe I know what type you are. I'm pretty sure about it. I'm pretty sure you're an INFJ.
Mhm.
And my reasonings are as follows. Your extroverted intuition is very capable, but I don't see it displaying consciously as I'm just talking with you. Your description of a lot of your habits and stuff is that of a receiving type, somebody who likes to watch a lot of videos and have a live stream on in the background and stuff like that. That's very receivey-ish, but you're not an SI conscious user because for lots of reasons. You communicate in an NISE way, not in an NESI way, but also you default towards universalities rather than specific examples. But I'm able to pull the specific examples out of you with a little bit of effort. So that's consistent with 8th slot SI rather than say 7th. If you were an ENFJ, I would not be able to pull out those examples as well as I was able to. And your TI is conscious, but not especially strong. The reason I know your TI is conscious is primarily because you seem an FE type instead of an FI type. Your relationship with your own feelings is where your critical parent is. And so you get mad at yourself for not FIing well enough. And or you probably will also get mad at yourself if you went along with what was going down because you wanted to be a team player and you didn't respect the fact that you didn't like it enough to remove yourself from the situation. Like a joke about INFJs that Frank James made that I like is everybody else enjoying the soul killing game? Yes? Okay, let's keep playing. But the key thing is also INFJs seek out external sources of information to inform them about themselves, which is what you're doing now. And it's generally more likely to be done by INFJs than by ISFJs, but that's not determinative of anything. That what colors, what season are you? Shit, that's also very NI rather than SI. And your discussion of you're mentioning things like not putting things back where they go and or kind of eating when people gave you food rather than ever thinking about it consciously yourself.
I only did that when I was young though. Like nowadays I eat.
Well, yeah, I know that was when you were young, but like an SI type when they're young, they're going to be much more directive about their food consumption than an NI type when they're young. So I believe you're an INFJ. Can you tell me now what you thought you were coming in, whether you think that typing is consistent with you, and if you have any questions?
I thought a lot of possibilities. I thought I could be like an SI dom, so like ISFJ or ISTJ. I actually got typed by another person as INFP. Yeah, so those were the few that I've never thought of INFJ though. And what was that kind of last question? I think you asked before I said something.
If you have any questions.
No, like kind of before, like after you said.
Oh, well, what type you thought you were coming in?
No. That was like ages ago. Like I think probably don't remember it anymore. But kind of you asked me about what angers me, and I couldn't think of one, and then
Oh yeah.
you asked another one.
Oh, um, the two-part question was, uh, do you trust your experience or instincts more? And can you give me an example? Maybe that one. I don't know.
No,
Whichever question you're referring
there's
to.
one after, but that's okay. Um, oh, what other questions do I have? I guess like what are your thoughts on kind of why not I guess you already answered this already though.
Okay, so well, what you're saying here makes me say, okay, well, why not INTJ? The reason you're not an ISTJ is because you're definitely not an SI
mm,
dom. So that eliminates that possibility. But given that I think you are a knowing type, that's an NI or an SI dom, and I believe you're an NI dom, then why not INTJ? Uh, that's a possibility. You are not as clear cut to me as most people I type.
mhm.
INTJ is another possibility. What kind of work do you do?
Accounting.
Accounting?
Yeah, I'm an accountant.
Are you good at it?
No, I kind of regret going into it, but yeah,
Okay.
pays the bills.
What what is it that makes you not like it?
Uh, it's kind of boring, I find. It's kind of the same thing again and again. Uh, I would have much liked something that I kind of actually like. Like I only went into it because I thought it'd be something that you would just be in a box and just doing stuff by yourself. But it's actually like a lot of tough like teamwork and having to work with people. Like
Okay, you're an INTJ. You're not an INFJ. You're an INTJ. Now things have all fallen together for me. I knew you were confusing. It's because what I forgot as I was saying you're an INFJ, I think, is that you're definitely not PE polar. So you were able to distinguish between different levels of solvency and the different kinds of strategies needed when I'm talking about the process in the ocean. I forgot about that. That's pretty good proof you're not TE polar. Now, I don't have a good clear way of determining whether someone's TE tool. If they're NI. You can tell ISTJ is TE easily enough because it's always expressed via SI examples. You can tell ESTJ is TE easy enough because it's always expressed by SI examples. INTJs, their TE is a little more hidden and a little less easy to establish via testing. Does that resonate with you more, INTJ, than INFJ?
um maybe. I think I maybe have considered INTJ sometimes. But like when I see like your other like typing sessions with like INTJ people, like they're more like the questions I think is it the TI or like the TE questions that you ask them, they're really good at it sometimes.
Yeah, well, well, but look, TI 3, 4, 5, 6, or 8. Your TI scores any of those spots because you have wildly varying skill levels in any of those slots that always fall short of 1 or 2 and are always better than 7.
Mhm.
So that's a tricky one. But you know the thing is your affect doesn't seem like an INTJ. Your affect seems more FE.
Mhm.
You're nodding and you're
Yeah,
giving me yeah back, right?
yeah.
So you're a confusing person to me to type because I I guess I mean you it's more plausible to me that you're TE polar than you're FE polar. because I don't have as good a I don't have as strong a linkage between any kind of work I can do and being determinate about where TE is when it's paired with NI. So as a consequence, I think I trust my actual visual data here about your FE cueing me as I'm talking to much more than I trust the lack of clear TE polar responses from you. So I'm going to go back to INFJ, but I think that I'm at about 85% on it. And unfortunately, you happen to be one of the people that I don't feel very certain about. Most of the time, I feel quite certain about it. And sometimes I tell people, I guarantee you are this type. I have these very certain reasons why, blah, 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 blah. I can't quite get that level of certainty about.
But what about, I think this other person tagged me as INFP, but you said I'm FE more than FI. Definitely.
No way you're INFP because INFPs are SI third. And that's could you be SI third? I really don't think so. I mean, the thing about the cozy clothes, comfortable clothes, that's consistent with SI third. But your description of your relationship with sleep, for example, is definitely not consistent with SI third. And you don't seem SE polar, you seem SE fourth. The first thing you mentioned being potentially mad about yourself was not completing something that you had started. But then you said, well, ultimately, I think it was good because I wouldn't have been well suited to do that thing. That sounds more like a fourth slot SE than a seventh slot. I think seventh slot SE, they don't really have a lot of trouble completing things they start. They just start very few things.
Mm. So that's like one example of that. What other examples of SE being fourth rather than seven?
Well, SE fourth people, they tend to go up and down in weight and be able to change their weight pretty easily. They tend to get satisfaction out of buying things. So, like, if you're feeling really stressed out, and then the solution for you is going to be physical exercise or buying something.
Mm.
Whereas for me, if I'm really stressed out, the solution is going to be drugs or bath time and bedtime. That's SI fourth.
Yeah, yeah. I think my weight has been going kind of up and down, like kind of YOLO dieting nowadays, and I do sort of like buy stuff. Like,
SE fourth is also prone to either setting reminders for themselves, like on a calendar or something, rather than trying to remember it themselves, or also establishing something like, okay, since I have to do this, I do laundry on Mondays and I make myself do it every Monday so that I don't have to think about when to do it. SI8 doesn't like to or isn't really capable of evaluating their day in the same way that SI is. SI people wake up, they go, okay, like I woke up this morning. Okay, I've got hopefully there's new cartoons on Crunchyroll, and then if there's a lot of them, I'll watch that until I got type that lady, and then I got that lady at 10 o'clock, and then after that, I should probably eat something, and then like that's an day like that. And then they spend the whole day, like I do, saying, "Don't forget, Eric," to myself. You also have that 3 o'clock one. You have that 10 a.m. one, and then you got that other person at 3 o'clock. After that, you have to do the 11 p.m. one because you rescheduled for that night. That's SI. They're very in their head about the things they have coming up and the things that just happened all the time. I don't think you really like that.
I think on that, I kind of am aware kind of stuff coming up. Like
I don't doubt that you're aware of it. The SI thing is to repeat to yourself in words, either out loud or in your head, multiple times a day. Don't forget that thing at 10 o'clock. I have it on my fucking calendar. I'll get a reminder for it. Same with the 3 o'clock, same with the 11 o'clock. It doesn't matter. I'm an SI type. I will say to myself between the end of this and the 3 o'clock, don't forget you got that 3 o'clock at least 50 times.
I think I think when I do sort of do that, but then not like 50 times, I'd say. Maybe more kind of like when I wake up, or kind of reminding my mom that I have that like once or twice. And then kind of setting an alarm for it. Kind of maybe in the midday I set an alarm for it, and so I can just not think about it.
Right. Okay. Well, I don't think that's inconsistent with INFJ because I don't set alarms for things. The only thing I set alarms for is when I'm cooking something. Like if I got something in the oven it's got to be in there for 20 minutes. I'll put the timer for 20 minutes. Okay. I mean, I think that's about the best I can do is to say, I think you're an INFJ, and I wish I could be more certain. Do you have any last questions you'd like to have answered?
I guess like if I could have changed like the sleeping pattern to like I need 8 hours sleep, that probably doesn't really change anything, does it?
Well, SI DOMs, they know they need more sleep than other people seem to think they need. But most importantly, when they wake up in the morning, they can tell if they've gotten enough sleep or not because of the physical cues. They know what it feels like to get enough sleep physically and what it feels like physically to not get enough sleep. And they evaluate whether they need more sleep or not accordingly. They don't check the numbers, right? Like for an SI DOM, they know whether they've gotten enough sleep or not based on whether they've actually gotten enough sleep or not. They don't try to use a heuristic that says, well, I got 7 hours, therefore I got enough sleep. They recognize that their body knows whether they got enough sleep, and their counting hours is always going to lose to their body in terms of accuracy.
Yeah.
Okay, so I wish I could have been more certain for you, but I do believe you're an INFJ. And I thank you. Then this thing processes the video. Then it sends me an email saying, okay, it's done, processed, it's in your Google Drive, Eric. Then I'll share it with you. So it may not be for like 4 hours or something. So I'll share it with you.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Have a great day.
You too.